Hello, Dragons. My name is Paul Lobo. This is Barry Ritchie. Our company is Air Oasis Limited. The purpose of us being here is we want £125,000 of your money, and in return, we will give you 10% equity in our company. Our product produces water out of air, and Barry is now going to give you a brief presentation on our product.
Hello, Dragons. What I'm going to do first of all is just give you a very quick scientific experiment just to show you what the end product that comes out of our machine, which is the pure drinking water itself. Paul, if you'd like to pour me a glass of tap water from there. I'm going to take a glass from our machine, which we'll come into shortly. And this is water that's been made out of the air in the last hour. What we're actually going to do very quickly is just pop this electrolyser in, which is going to pass a small electric current through this water. And shortly that will come up as a colour, and it will show you basically what's in this water. What we're looking for in the ideal water, it comes up yellow. This just shows that there's separated mineral grains in the water. With the other water in which we have here, this will go probably obviously a different colour, and it will leaving that to fizz for a little while. I'll just tell you a little bit about this machine. We have the exclusive sole distribution rights to sell this machine throughout the United Kingdom. We also have Iran, Syria, as well as Sri Lanka, India and Nepal. The air is sucked in through the side here. It runs through a condensing unit like a dehumidifier. They are then passed through a 7-stage filtration system and a UV light to kill any bacteria whatsoever that's in the water, providing you with the purest, freshest drinking water on the planet. £4 million a day is being spent on bottled water in this country. We believe by educating the public and showing them our water is much better than bottled water, and we believe that this machine, with its electricity and running costs that produce water at 7p a litre, is going to change the way in which people buy water in this country. This is from the tap, and we're welcome to take any questions you may have.
Bold claims
about the purity and great taste of their water, ambitious plans for market penetration. Barry Ritchie and Paul Lobo's pitch for £125,000 of investment in their company.
Barry, Paul, I'm Theo.
Hi, Theo. Nice to meet you.
7p a litre.
Yes.
Sounds cheap when you compare it with bottled water.
Yes.
But it's not cheap when you compare it to just filter, because there's units like that just filter existing
That's
tap
right.
water.
Oh, without question. Without question.
The difference is these don't need a water supply, so they will be very good in humid countries.
Without question.
Where you can't get water to a unit.
Most definitely.
So the UK market's not actually going to be a very good market for this, is it?
Well, I think it is actually. There's a lot of people that are interested in reducing their carbon footprint at the moment.
Talk to me about it.
£48 million.
How does this reduce my carbon footprint?
OK, let's just look at the 808,000 machines that are out there at the moment with big plastic bottles on the top. The plastic, there's no plastic, there's no bottled water, there's no diesel, there's no John in his shorts coming up to get all the bottles. So the whole process...
Mine are plumbed in. I've already dealt with it. They're all plumbed in.
OK, well then...
No, Johnny doesn't turn up in his shorts.
OK.
Right, it doesn't deliver anything.
But you're comparing a Mini with a Rolls Royce, because at the end of the day, this coming into me at £318 into the UK.
OK, and you're going to retail that to the end user at
$699. That's using a direct...
By selling direct to consumers, Barry and Paul are confident of healthy margins. But Duncan Bannatyne thinks he's spotted a flaw in their plans.
No, tell you what I don't like about this product is something you said in your pitch. What you're going to do is educate the public. You haven't explained how you're going to educate the public, and you're not going to educate the public. The public are going to continue using tap water or drinking bottled water.
Duncan, as soon as you do this test, which is very visual,
Paul,
it really, that's the education.
Paul, you can't travel around the country, knocking on people's doors, going in with 2 glasses of water and saying to people, look at the difference, buy one of these machines. You can't do that.
Yes, we can.
You can't educate the public.
We've just got 100 kits in little cases. This is like the Kirby vacuum cleaner. This is the bugs on the scope. We've got 300 people signed up already to go out door to door on commission only, part-time, hairdressers, mothers.
Barry, the point I'm making isn't that you can't go around knocking on doors. The point I'm making is you can't afford to go around knocking on doors. There isn't enough money in it to go around knocking on doors and saying to people, look, will you let me come in and show you these 2 glasses of water and show you the difference, and then you can buy my machine for 500 quid.
OK, but there is, because it doesn't cost them. We've bought all the kits. The people are taking on a part-time commission-only basis. They get £100 a sale. They do 3 in a week. They get 150 per sale. It's good old-fashioned pyramid, multi-level direct market.
Barry,
Barry, have you ever sold Kirby vacuum cleaners?
Surprise,
Well,
surprise.
there you
Glazing,
go.
Kirby. I've done the lot.
I
16
had to
years old, I was
ask
the top salesman at 17.
Barry, you run the risk of talking yourself back down those stairs without an investment.
Okay.
The reason I asked if you've been a Kirby selling person is that I could have told you were, because actually what you used to do is stand in people's room, bombard them and barrage them exactly the way you're trying to do with us now until they capitulate and buy that carpet cleaner. I've seen the selling techniques, which
Yep.
I have to say really, really annoys me. You are talking about a pyramid selling scheme. I've got to tell you, for me, that is a combination that I would run a mile.
As a business proposition, does this excite me for £150,000? No. Working with Barry would just drive me crazy. I don't think I could handle it. And for those reasons, guys, I'm out.
Two dragons are out. So far, Barry's been dominating proceedings. But Peter Jones wants to know more about his business partner.
Paul, how do you work with this guy?
Very well.
you keep-
I love his enthusiasm.
No, I get Barry. I don't get you.
Leave her in
Do you
the
do
product?
everything Barry says?
No, not at all. Not
That's
at all.
the benefit. When two men in a business always agree, one of them is
Paul,
unnecessary.
how much money have you made? Have you got money to put into it?
Yes, I have. I put in £150,000.
So you put in 150,000 of your own cash?
Yes.
And Barry,
I'm about 50 and about $1 million in hard work.
have you got any more money, Paul?
Of course I've got more money.
How much more money have you got?
Well, I don't think that concerns you.
It does concern me.
How much money have you got?
Probably about 10 million in the bank, let's say.
Well, I don't think that's a valid question.
Well, I'll tell you why it's a valid question. If you've got the money, why aren't you putting the
Right,
bloody money on the
let us
table?
explain why.
To explain.
We want your expertise, your knowledge, so that we can really go.
Well, why should I give you money for you to get knowledge from me?
Well, we're not a charity. We're not going to let you have equity.
What do you mean
in
you're not
our
a charity? You want knowledge from me and my money.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely. That's why
yeah.
we're here.
I haven't got mug written over my forehead, you know.
An enraged Peter Jones has blasted the duo. The dragons are clearly infuriated by the entrepreneurs themselves.
Barry, can you give him a glass of water, please?
Certainly.
Barry and Paul's only hope now is to salvage their pitch by proving their water tastes as good as they say.
Barry, it tastes terrible.
It tastes terrible.
Well, I've had all these conversations, but nobody's sort of tasting the water.
Has it been that long?
Taste that water.
That's because it's warm, that's why.
Unusual taste.
Put something in this.
I haven't.
There's
You just
something-
gave me it out of there.
Don't be
Give
ridiculous.
me a clean glass.
No way. There's something in it.
There's nothing in it. Use your glass and go and get a drink of that water.
Mayhem erupts in the den.
That's got nothing to do with the cold. It's got an aftertaste.
The dragons declare Barry and Paul's water to be totally unpalatable.
It's revolting.
My kids will throw that back at you.
Theo Paphitis demands an explanation.
Taste it. Does it taste terrible or not?
It doesn't taste terrible, but it certainly doesn't taste as good as it should do.
It doesn't
but the
taste
machine
like
has
water.
Not, but it's a brand spanking new machine that needed to be flushed and everything else properly. This is why it's here.
It needs to be set up for a longer period
Yes,
of time
exactly. And it takes
in
4
order
or
for.
5 hours to get it working properly.
So
What is the temperature of that, Barry?
21 degrees.
Just listen to me, 'cause I'm getting really annoyed now. I'm complaining not about the temperature, but the fact it's got a terrible, appalling aftertaste. So don't make excuses about the temperature. I'm out.
It's all but over for Barry and Paul. They've been blasted by Theo Paphitis. Now Duncan Bannatyne and Peter Jones step forward to have their say.
You know, the thing is, what gets me is this. You did all these tests on this water to show your water is the best.
Yes,
Then I tested your water,
yes.
and it's rubbish. We all tested it, we all said the same thing. And then you said that's because that machine hasn't been flushed.
In order for you to see our machine in its full operation, it would have been fair for this machine to be here overnight. Then it would have been.
Well, you've gone from
Then would have
you've gone
done
from
justice.
you've gone from an hour and a half to all night now. You know, but it doesn't really answer my question. And you know, I'm not going to invest in it, so I'm out.
Paul, Barry, you've basically brought a product here that lives or dies on the back of the quality that it produces.
Can I say, in all the times that we've tasted that water, amongst you Dragons, that's the first time that's been like this. That's all I can say to you.
I think enough has been said by everybody else, and I don't think you're here necessarily to be insulted. So, good luck in your endeavours, but I'm
Thank
not
you.
going to invest in the business, and I'm out.
I understand.
Okay. Okay.